Hey, good morning, dreamers, and welcome back to Chasing Dreams Homestead. So, I got the bright idea to try to do a 3-day fast. Now, I've done intermittent fasting in the past, um, and it's been successful as far as helping with some of my gut issues, and also I lost some weight doing intermittent fasting. But the 3-day fast is not really so much about weight loss for me. I'm not doing it for weight loss, actually. I'm doing it for all the health benefits that come along with fasting that long. So once you hit that 24-hour mark, you really start to hit the autophagy part, and that's where your body's going to consume damaged and dead cells. Going further into the fast towards the 3-day mark, which is my goal, I will essentially reset my immune system, reset my gut flora, and my body will start to devour any dead cells or damaged cells. A lot of neurocognitive disorder cells that are damaged that lead to Alzheimer's, those kind of cells, they will get ate by my body because my body will no longer be using food as a fuel, and it will start to, you know, consume parts of the body that are not needed and not healthy for the body. I will also begin to lose about 0.5 pounds of fat per day after the 24-hour fast is over and it kicks into the following hours and days. Um, the big thing is, when you fast for that long, I'll stay very hydrated. I will allow myself to have coffee and some broth so that I don't lose too many electrolytes. The broth will have salt in it, obviously, and some minerals because my broth is made with Redmond sea salt. So that's a natural salt that's non-iodized and has lots of minerals in it. Um, you know, when you fast that long, your body's going to increase the human growth hormone. That's a big thing as far as helping repair things, also boosting your metabolism and strengthening your muscles, believe it or not. So that's a big win for me as far as another reason that I want to fast that long. It will also help control my blood sugar levels and reduce my insulin dependency. I've done a lot of research on fasting, and like I said, I've done intermittent fasting in the past, and I've never fasted for 3 days. So I'm curious to see how it makes my body feel, where I'm at, and essentially if the health benefits are there. Now, some things I won't be able to obviously know for sure if the studies that I've read are accurate because I'm not going to do lab work. But I know I'll be able to tell overall if I feel a difference. Um, and Mama Dream says autoimmune disorder fasting is something that they recommend for folks with that as well to help reduce those autoimmune disorder inflammations and help correct those as well. So by doing this fast, I will also help my body if there's any of those trying to pop up or surface. It will help my body reduce those. Another thing as far as the fasting goes, especially that long of a fast, back to the autophagy and the damaged cells, a lot of times damaged cells lead to cancer. So fasting that long helps reduce your risk of cancer. And there have actually been a lot of studies that suggest fasting will increase your life expectancy. They did some studies with mice and other animals, and then they did some human studies, and there has been a direct correlation in fasting and longevity. So I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to track it, see how it goes, and I'll let you guys follow along. This is mainly going to be kind of like a vlog, a video log of just how it makes me feel, how I'm feeling, what I experienced during the fast, and then, a follow-up of what I experienced after the fast. Now, I will say that I know I will lose some weight, but I'm going to hydrate very heavily, so it will not be water weight primarily. My starting weight was 263 pounds and 6 ounces. Ever since Jenna's wedding, I just stacked weight back on, and it's been kind of hard to get it off, even though I'm exercising and eating clean and all those things. So resetting my metabolism and my immune system and my gut is going to be huge for me. Um, when I left Iraq, I started having stomach problems, and man, Iraq, wow, that's almost 20 years ago now. Almost 20 years ago that I was in Iraq. Um, And ever since then, I've had stomach problems. So one thing I did notice when I was doing the intermittent fasting was that I had less bowel movements. Obviously, you've got less food in your body, less waste to be pushing out. But I really think that it's key to just let your organs rest, especially your digestive organs, and reset your gut flora every once in a while. So coming out of this fast, I plan to slowly introduce foods again, but mainly I'm going to do, foods that are good for your gut. So we've actually got some kimchi and some different yogurts with probiotics and whatnot in it that I will be consuming after the fast to just try to help get that going in the right direction this time around. Just trying to think what else that I know at least. I mean, there's so many supposed health benefits to fasting. But let me say, I'm not a doctor, so don't take this as medical advice. This is just something that I'm doing on my own health journey to try to improve my health, live longer, and live a better and more fulfilled life. It's also supposed to help with things like chronic fatigue, which is by some considered an autoimmune disorder. I do feel tired often, not as tired as I had felt before I discovered I had sleep apnea and have started using the CPAP machine, but I still feel tired often. So hopefully this will help. And again, like I said, I've never done a full 3-day fast. So I think like the longest in the past was maybe 26 hours. But so I'm just curious to see like how it feels in general, like what my body experiences. And hopefully coming out of this, I will have a marked difference in my neurocognitive, behavior, as far as I'll be able to think more clearly, less brain fog, less fatigue, all those things that are touted from a long fast. So follow along and I'll let you know how it feels and what I deal with along the way, y'all. So in about 25-30 minutes, I will have hit the 24-hour mark on this fast. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it to the 3 days this first time around or not, but my goal is ultimately to do a 3-day fast. There's just a lot going on as far as why I want to do the fast. I mean, there's obviously, stuff in the Bible about fasting. I've done intermittent fasting in the past to try to lose weight for Jenna's wedding, and it worked pretty well. I'm not doing it for weight loss this time around. I'm really trying to do it for the reset and for the autophagy that takes place once you get beyond a certain hour of your fast. The longest I've ever done in the past was 26 hours. So right now, like I said, I'm about 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes from hitting 24 hours. We ate late last night. It's almost 9 p.m. here tonight. Now, the things that I have noticed from this fast so far, I really wasn't terribly hungry. So I've got a job where I sit at a desk all day, and generally I get bored, and when I get bored, I get hungry. If I'm able to be outside and doing things, active things, I don't think about food as often. So sitting at the desk was a little bit, complex. It kind of had me, just mentally saying, you're not going to eat, you're not going to eat, you're not going to eat. Because I've gotten into that routine. I'm used to eating 4 meals a day because I'm trying to lift and get back in shape and all those things. But I've got willpower, and this is an exercise for my willpower, but also it's something that I'm doing for my health, like I discussed in the intro. I really believe that there are reasons that people have a lot of health issues. Really, buddy? Come on, bro. But I believe there's reasons people have a lot of health issues, and obviously a lot of that's the toxic food chain. But also, I don't know that necessarily people are designed to eat as often, and definitely not as much as we eat. I think that is a leading cause for obesity in our country, at least. But also, your gut needs time to rest. It needs time to take off from digesting. It's not very good for your organs to have to constantly just go. They need to rest too, just like we mentally need rest. And there's a reason we sleep. your organs need rest as well, to include your digestive organs. So for me, I'm really pushing myself to see how far I can take this. Now, this fast may not hit 3 days. And the reason for that is, sadly, Saturday, we're going to go up and see a family member who is struggling with cancer. And I don't want to be going up there on my first ever 3-day, on the 3rd day, because I don't know how I'll mentally be. You know, I don't know if I'll be cranky. I don't know if I'll kind of be out of it a little bit. I don't know. I've never gone 3 days without food, so it's something that I'm going to try and see how I feel, but it may not be this go around. It'll all depend on how I feel tomorrow night. I'm definitely going to push myself to try to make it 48 hours for sure this first go around. But how I feel, a little bit edgy, and I've noticed that before when I've done intermittent fasting, and I've told my buddy, I was like, it's kind of weird. You would think without the food you would be hungry and weak, but once I get pretty far into an intermittent fast, it's like you get a second wind almost. It's like, man, I just want to keep going. You feel more alive and energetic. It's really hard to explain, at least me. That's how I feel. I mean, I know that things smell really awesome, and that's cool because earlier I made that sofrito, and man, the kitchen just smelled so good. So I do know that it seems like your senses around food are heightened by this point for sure. But other than that, y'all, I feel pretty good. I've been drinking a lot of water. I had my black coffee this morning. I can have black coffee. I can have water. I can even have bone broth. So I did have about 6 ounces of bone broth today, and that's it. I'm not going to get any more lax than that with my fast. Some people are very strict and only do water. I don't know that I would ever want to only do water. I kind of have a coffee addiction. I don't know if anybody would want to be around me 3 days without coffee. But I'm feeling good, y'all. And I'll check back in with you tomorrow morning, because this is the easy part after tonight. During the daytime hours, obviously we're hungry. When we go to sleep, we're not really alert. We're not really thinking about the hunger pains, which I haven't really had. I had a few belly growls today, but no real hunger pains. So I think that's just part of the intermittent fasting that I've done, and my body is kind of used to it. But this is something new for my body, so we'll see how it goes. All right, Mama Dreams.
Yeah.
So I'm doing video on the fasting,
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of logging like how it makes me feel and what I experience or whatever. So you've been with me all day.
Right.
Has my mood been any different?
Not today.
Not today. I think it's probably 9 by now, and so that means I've hit 24 hours. Trying to see where I can get with this one, but we did a lot of hard work today, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we expended a lot of energy, and I'm fasting, and I don't feel tired from it though. Like, I don't feel weak.
I've only had oatmeal, but I have had 2 of my dumplings today.
I was waiting on you to tell if
Which is like 260 calories in each one.
Yeah. So you've probably had 1,000 calories easily today.
But I could probably live off of those. Not healthy for you, but
right.
But I could still go. I mean, if I sit, I'm gonna start hurting and then be tired. So that's why I keep going. But night's about done.
Night's about done. Yeah, like she said, we could keep going, but it's running out of daylight.
Mm-hmm.
Sad part about getting off late in the day.
Yeah.
But anyhow, we'll keep you updated. Let you know how I feel in the morning when we wake up.
Yeah.
She'll tell you the truth if I get cranky or crazy. Hey, good morning, guys. Some 36 hours into the fast, I feel pretty freaking energetic. I'm not even gonna lie, and that's surprising, and it's awesome at the same time. I'm not hungry at this moment in time, but I will tell you, I think it was around 2 or 3 in the morning. I got up to use the bathroom, and when I laid back down, my stomach was like, "Dude, you're hungry." It took me a little while to fall back asleep. I never go back to sleep easily, anyhow, so that had nothing to do with the fast. I'm a very light sleeper, and whenever I get awakened, I generally can't go back to sleep. But it was too early in the morning to get up and stay up for the day. And plus I was feeling hungry. So I was like, just go back to sleep and you'll ignore it. And that may very well have just could have been because I was thirsty as well. Because since I've gotten up, I have drank water, and that could be why I'm not hungry. I don't know. But I'm not hungry at the moment. I do feel very energetic. I feel good. I feel alert. I do have some broth making on the stove for later on today. I ran out of my bone broth. I thought I had more jars in the pantry than I did. Apparently, my wife has been enjoying my broth and cooking dishes, so I used my last jar yesterday. So I'm making some broth now that I'll be able to eat later on in the day. And I will tell you, Mama Dreams was like, "Ooh, that smells so good. I'm going to put some noodles in it and make chicken noodle soup." And I was like, "If you touch my broth, I'll stab you." I was joking, but she she was like, "Oh, I'm going to tell the world you said that." I was like, "I'll tell them. I don't care." But I know that broth is going to be all I can really essentially eat, and it's not really eating, it's drinking today, and that's to replace minerals and nutrients, and it's very, very low calorie. So it's near and dear to me. It's important to me to have all my broth. But I'm in good spirits. I don't feel angry. I don't feel hangry. I don't feel cranky. So I think that a lot of the fasting is simply just a mind over matter type of deal. You know, if I don't mind, it don't matter. I've got the willpower, and you know, like I said last night, I really want to go 3 days. But I highly doubt that I'll make 3 days, simply because 3 days will put me into 9 p.m. tomorrow night. And we've got, you know, to go see family tomorrow and spend time with family and around a lot of people and a lot of peopling. We'll see how I feel in the morning when I wake up. And if I am feeling weak or cranky or whatever, I'll probably eat. If not, I'll go ahead and try to push it. We'll see what happens. Hang in there, and I'll give you an update in 12 hours or so. I'll let you know how I'm doing tonight when I hit the 48-hour mark.
Captain's log, April 14th, 2023. The fast has taken me where no man has gone before, to the hunger zone. I'm joking, y'all. Everybody's been hungry at one point in their life or another. Let me just tell you, between my buddy Ray sending me a picture of my Christmas/birthday present, which is his famous bacon. I'm telling you, this is the best bacon I've ever had in my entire life. It looks like he made me about 8 or 10 pounds of bacon that I'll be picking up Sunday. And I could almost smell it through the phone. It really made me hungry. And then my wife heating up her plate of chicken and bringing that upstairs with some barbecue sauce on it. To say I'm hungry is an understatement. I am experiencing the hunger pains. I'm hopeful that if I go chug some water, I'll stave them off for a little bit. It's 3 p.m. I've got 6 more hours until I make it to 48 hours. Y'all, I'm gonna hang in there like a hair in a biscuit. I ain't giving up. All right, good morning, y'all. So this is officially day 3. In an hour and 45 minutes, I will have hit 60 hours on my fast. I apologize. I forgot to do a 48-hour update last night because I was working so much around the homestead. When I got off work, I went to town. I made those recipe videos for y'all, mixing our feed because we needed to get some batches of feed made up. That's something we do about every 6 weeks. And I was just busy trying to declutter. You know, it's spring is in the air, it's warm, so we're trying to take advantage of it. But how am I feeling? Well, not bad at all, honestly. It's kind of like I mentioned before, it's like that second win. Once you get over that hump, it's just smooth sailing. There were some moments yesterday that I was really hungry. I stayed home. The wife and the kids went to Dairy Queen last night, and to avoid the temptation, I stayed home and continued to declutter and work a little bit around the homestead. But all in all, I don't feel bad at all. I do notice that kind of like a little ADHD going on, but I've already got ADHD, so I don't know if it's pre-existing or not. But I do notice that my brain is kind of like here, there, and everywhere. I don't know, maybe that's just everything that's on my plate. I don't know. But otherwise, no, last night at one point, I started to get a little bit of a headache, but I don't think that was because of the fast. I'm not sure, though. I think it was probably just the heat and being outside and working. Since I've got that office job, it's made me soft and lazy, unfortunately. As much as I love to be outside, I don't have the same stamina I used to have outside. So maybe that's what it was. Or maybe it was the fast. I don't know. But the goal is 3 days. That's the goal. We'll see what happens. Anyhow, I'm going to get off here, and we've got to run to the dump. We've got a load of stuff to take to the dump. Our dump hours are very strange. Thankfully, they're open the first and third Saturday of the month for half a day. With the schedule we have, they are always closed by the time we get off work, so it kind of sucks. Anyhow, I'll talk to y'all in a little bit and let you know how I'm feeling.
Dreamers, sadly, I'm not going to be able to make the full 72 hours. It's not because I can't do it. I'm telling you right now, I'm 61 and a half hours into this. I could totally rock out until 9 tonight and make 72 hours. But we're about to go see my uncle, and sadly, he's dying from cancer. So I would love to ask if you guys would pray for him. Miracles happen every day. My poor uncle has been through several bouts with cancer, and they've done lots of surgeries, and he is pretty much at the end of his road right now, y'all. So we're making the trip up to see him. It's just a really sad time in the family. He's a hard-working man, a good man, and you hate to see something like this happen to someone you love. So pray for him if you do pray. But because of that, the family's going to be gathered. We're going to enjoy a meal together, and I don't want to not participate in that. So we're going to go ahead and end the fast now. Like I said, I could have easily made it to 72 hours, but it's just not something that I want to do at this point, knowing that I'm going to be around my family. I want to spend time with my family and participate in the meal and everything else. Now, I will say, I feel fine. I feel perfectly fine. You know, it's counterintuitive. All my life, I've thought I had to eat all the time, and you really don't. Like, I'm good, y'all. I could seriously just keep rocking right now. Everyone always asks about weight loss when you fast. I've lost just shy of 8 pounds in 2.5 days. So that's pretty cool. I know that some of that was water weight, but I know a lot of it is not, because I've been chugging and chugging and chugging water. So I think that I've definitely lost some fat, because after you hit that 24-hour mark, each day beyond that, you're supposed to lose about 1/2 pound of true fat. So that's pretty cool. I don't know about all the autophagy and whatnot, because obviously I don't have any kind of labs, but I think that there's got to be some truth to it. I think that our bodies are not designed to eat as often as we do, or as much as we do. And I think our ancestors, you know, hunter-gatherers, and, you know, once we started doing agriculture and all those things, those folks didn't sit down and have 4 meals a day or 3 meals a day. Those were hard-working people. They were just trying to get to their next meal and trying to survive. So I don't think that they had to deal with a lot of these autoimmune disorders and a lot of these different sicknesses and things that we're all experiencing in this day and age. And I think part of that is obviously the toxic food chain, but also part of that is our body doesn't have that fasting period to where our body is digesting those damaged or dead cells. So they're building up in our bodies. At least these are my thoughts. And I'm bought into the fasting thing. I think I'm going to start fasting more regularly. Not necessarily 3-day fast regularly, but I am going to start fasting more regularly. Mama Dreams actually said that she is willing to try it with me the next time I do a 3-day fast. I believe I'll probably do one of those in May. We got to figure out our weekends. She doesn't want to do it on a weekend, which makes a lot of sense, because obviously the weekends is when we do most things with friends and family. But with her autoimmune disorders, it will be pretty exciting to see if she feels any better afterwards, because they say when you hit 3 days, you've reset your immune system, you've reset your gut flora, and everything is on the upward climb as far as undoing a lot of bad damage. I've even seen some articles that say doing these longer fasts like this help your brain in a way of undoing damage years of drinking has caused. In my younger years after Iraq, I drank like a fish, there's no doubt about it. Yeah, the Army has a very good way of making people alcoholics. Thankfully, Mama Dreams came into my life, and I turned my life around and turned away from the bottle. So I haven't had those issues anymore, but I know that there's probably some damage from those early years in drinking. Anyhow, whenever you guys break a fast, it's important not to rush out and just chow down on fast food or large meals. It's important to ease back in, eat slowly, eat healthy things, eat simple things. And the reason for that is, for one, you don't want to undo all of the good you just did. So none of you should be eating fast food anyhow. That crap is poison. We're all guilty of it. We've all done it in our youth, and a lot of people still do it, but we do our absolute very best not to eat fast food. Every once in a while on a long road trip we'll do it, but otherwise we try to avoid that poison, because it's just that, it's poison. So when you ease back in, eat things that are not going to hurt you or offset what you've done. Mama Dreams, come on in and show them what my meal is going to be. Now, guys, I'm not going to eat this for probably another hour and a half. So I'll be up to like 63, 64 hours before I start eating this. But all I've got is some mixed greens, some chicken that I pulled off of the carcasses that I made the chicken broth with, and a little bit of barbecue sauce. And then over here, I've got some radish kimchi that I bartered for. We've got a lady in the group who knows how to make awesome kimchi and other Asian meals, and she wanted a silky, so we bartered for that. So that's going to be my meal that I use to break my fast. But again, I probably won't eat that for like another hour and a half. We've got to get on the road. We've got an epic adventure along the way to my uncle's. We always try to plan extra things in road trips just to try to make the best of a road trip or get the fullest out of that road trip. So we're actually going to do a video on that adventure. So hang in there and we'll show you that. But if you guys have ever done a fast, or if you've learned anything from this fast or have any other questions, feel free to reach out. Let me know what your questions are, comment your experiences on a fast, and as always, like and subscribe to our channel. Till next time, y'all, keep dreaming.